Greetings, Dan Haugley one. It is, well, it's today, and I'm way behind and in a bind, willing to make a deal. I got a video to make for you, or 5, or 6, or 12, or 14, or 23, or 34, 59, something like that. Anyway, I'm going to talk about cross-country running for a bit. Hopefully I will have embedded video here, which will make it slightly more interesting than looking at me while I'm driving to Minneapolis. Here 3 or 4 weeks ago was the Jim Flim, which is, Jim Flim is actually a former coach of the Winona Senior High cross-country team. And Winona's home cross-country meet is called the Jim Flim Invitational, and that's the one that takes place at St. Mary's. So Preston has been struggling at the start of the season. You know, he was injured going into it. The way it works in cross-country when you are scoring the team is you usually have 7 varsity runners, and the top 5 score for the team. So what that means is, if you finish, let's say, you know, overall with all the teams combined, your runners finish 1, 5, 10, 15, and 30, then your total score as a team is 1 plus 5 plus 10 plus 15 plus 30, whatever that is. And so if you score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then your total score is a 15, which is the best you can do. Low score wins the meet, right? So Preston's been struggling. The team has not finished first in any meets. So Winona actually won the Jim Flim, and Preston actually scored for the team, which means he came in 5th. He has been pretty much solidly coming in 7th the whole season. And today he beat both Mitchell and Zach, and he was totally pumped about that. So the next week after that, they had a race in, I believe it was Owatonna, which is where they have 3 of the last 4 races are in Owatonna. So they had the Owatonna meet. The team came in 2nd behind Rosemont, and Rosemont is a metro school, so they always do well. Also, Red Wing was not there, excuse me, the next week was actually Red Wing. So Preston came in 5th on the team at Red Wing. He did pretty well. He ended up passing, I think, Zach and Mitchell towards the very end. Anyway, he was really happy with the way he did, and the team came in 2nd behind Red Wing. Now, Red Wing is so dominant this year. They're really, really good. And then... Okay, Preston, up the ramp. Catch up with Mitchell. Zach, catch up. 5,000 meters, which, you know, it happens. But he still finished 5th, which he was really pleased about. And then the next race was in Austin. And Winona actually won that race again. Now, granted, that's a small field in Austin. Red Wing wasn't there. Again, he finished 5th, which is, you know, he's really excited about. And then the next week after that was Owatonna. No, excuse me. Yes, it was Owatonna. I think I'm getting confused now. Anyway, excuse me. Yeah, it was Owatonna and then Austin, right? And that, I think, pretty much brings you up to date on the season. So after his initial struggles, he's been running pretty solidly in 5th place. Sometimes he still looks like he's out jogging and not running. You know what I'm talking about? So it's like he's running but not racing. And 2 years ago, his last races in Owatonna, he had just sort of a complete emotional meltdown and just did terribly. So he has 2 races left in the season, and they're both at Owatonna. The first is what are called sections, and then the Big Nine, which is their conference, and then sections. And the top 2 teams at sections go to state, and the top like 15 runners go to state. Now, if you're a top 15 runner, but your team qualifies, then you're pulled out of that top 15. Does that make sense? Anyway, it's likely Preston wouldn't be in that top 15 regardless, but he could certainly be in the, Winona could certainly finish top 2. So, anyway, next week is Owatonna, and he has been, it's going to be warm. It's going to be mid-70s, which is always a struggle for Preston and all the rest of the runners. But then again, it's a struggle for all the runners, so they all run in equal circumstances. And then the final week is also at Owatonna, and that weather is projected to be in the 50s. So anyway, I'll get this put together and get this posted, so at least you can see a little bit of what what's been going on. I'll make another video next week for the first Owatonna race, and then another video for the last Owatonna race. So hope you're well, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.